Hi, Bill Jones from Turntastic Wood Designs. This is the third and final installment about this, my new miter station. This time I finished the fence system and dust control, and I'll show you how I did it next. I started by taking some leftover plywood scraps and cut them 2 inches wide. Then I set them on the surface of the bench right up against the cabinet and screwed them in. Then I took some aluminum T-track that I got at my local woodworking supply store and set that on top of the row of scraps I just screwed in and screwed that into the cabinets. Now I cut some more scraps of plywood, this time into strips 1.5 inches wide, and set them on top of the T-track and secured them to the cabinets. Now I could position my saw in the proper place by using a long board that I knew had a straight edge. And I secured it to the bench with some carriage bolts. Now I turned my attention to making a stop block. I started by simply taking 2 pieces of plywood and gluing them together. For fine tuning, I'm using a couple of pieces of aluminum, and you'll see how that works in a few minutes. But for now, I needed to cut a slot in the block to accept that aluminum. The piece of aluminum has a hole drilled in it, so I set it in the slot I cut earlier and use it as a template to drill a hole through the stop block. Then after I drilled one hole, I move the piece of aluminum over a little bit and drill another hole, making an elongated slot for a nut to go through. I did this for each side of the stop block, so I can use those pieces of aluminum to slide back and forth through that slot to fine tune if I need to. I cut a piece of hardwood that fits perfectly in the T-track. It'll slide back and forth, but it won't twist. Next, I cut a slot in the back of the stop block to accept that piece of hardwood I just cut. A bolt and a plastic knob finishes off the stop block. To calibrate the stop block, I start off with a piece of wood that I know is dead on 16 inches long. I slide that piece of wood up against the saw blade and then slide the stop block up against the other end of the piece of wood. Now I just make a pencil mark on the fence up against that piece of aluminum that sticks out of the side of the stop block. I ordered some peel and stick tape measure online, and I take that and take the 16-inch mark on the tape measure and line it up with the pencil mark that I made on the fence, and then stick the tape measure to the rest of the fence. To double check that I had it right, I set my stop block at 30 inches and then cut a piece of scrap and measured to make sure that it was indeed 30 inches. For dust control, I had a piece of 4-inch sewer pipe that I installed in the back of the cabinets that go to the left of the miter saw, and that leads to my dust collector. To close in the area behind the saw, all I had to do was mount a cleat on the cabinet to the right, then just lay a piece of plywood across the top that spans from the cleat on the right to the top of the cabinet on the left. And that gives me dust control that is about as good as one could expect for a chop saw. Well, that wraps up this build. I now have a nice miter station with plenty of drawer storage, a good fence, and decent dust collection. I'm pretty happy with that. If you liked this video or found it useful, please like and share with your friends. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. And please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. It may be a week or two before I post another video. I'm taking a family vacation, so it may be a while, so those who do watch me regularly, please be patient. And as always, thanks for watching.